Hello, welcome to the Dr. Van Ingen Clinical Psychology and Parenting Show. I want to talk about emotional health in families. I want to talk about things that we can do as parents to encourage the emotional health in our families. I think, first of all, we want to have principles, right? A Johnson never cheats, steals, or lies, right? Uh, we want to have a clear behavioral expectations, right? Um, First, we always ask to be excused before we're excused from the dinner table, right? Appropriate behavior or positive behavior results in positive consequences, right? Negative behavior or inappropriate behavior like refusal, non-compliance, refusal to do a chore or a work task like vacuum the floor when being asked, clear consequence. Negative behavior, negative consequence. We want to have expectations very clear, and we want to make sure that we follow through on those consequences. And so some of those things. And then, of course, we want to have unconditional love. So although you have consequences, actions have consequences, we want to express unconditional love. I want to talk about some of the key things that parents can facilitate as far as encouraging emotional health in families. So this is not necessarily related to behavior, or it's not related to making sure that we have values and principles, like a Johnson never cheats, steals, or lies, right? But the emotional health, and a good time to have this go on is at family dinners, right? So I recommend that family dinners 4 or 5 times a week in healthy families, and use the oven timer strategy where you turn it on 25 minutes. We're going to sit here for 25 minutes and have a family dinner. I think that's really healthy. Now, when it comes to the emotional health at discussions at family dinners, and I think that parents need to have a discussion topic sort of established. Hey, let's talk about some of these things at family dinner. Parents can take 5 minutes to research a topic or just think about a good family dinner topic. But then when we get into, say, at family dinner, we talk about conflict that happened yesterday. Look, Jenny kicked Charlie, or Charlie and Jermaine were fighting over the video game, or someone yelled in the car. And we want to talk about what were you upset about when you yelled in the car. We want to talk about validating feelings and how that's important in the family. So even if you disagree, your siblings' feelings are important. So thank you for sharing how you feel. And I think it's important for the parent to say thank you for sharing how you feel, and to express, look, I feel angry at Grace because she pinched me, and I felt bad because she called me a jerk. And it's important for Grace to say, thank you for sharing how you feel. I can understand that, right? And again, and then the next level is, I'm sorry for pinching you. I'm sorry for calling you a jerk, right? We want to validate feelings. We want to encourage, and it starts with the parents, we want to encourage being vulnerable rather than blaming, right? It's really important to use I statements rather than you did this to me, you did this, right? We want to be vulnerable and talk about how I feel in these experiences. I think we want to also talk about the importance of self-soothing, right? And being able to, how can we soothe ourselves when we get angry? What are some things that we can do when we get upset? And I think we want to move away from making accusations, right? Criticisms, judgments. When we engage in those kinds of things, criticisms, judgments, accusations, those kinds of things prevent vulnerability. And I think we want to emphasize, especially at family dinner, we want to take time to be rather than to do. You know, so much emphasis is on doing and running and rushing through life, but just being together, even in a screen-free zone, right, with the TV off, just being together is so important. And I think we want to stay in our lanes. We want to, so part of healthy relating is I stay in my lane, my feelings are mine, you stay in your lane, your feelings are yours. So if someone takes on others' feelings, that can be unhealthy. Sometimes this comes across when we say, you made me feel, right? It's helpful to say, I feel. And then we can say, because this happened, or, but I feel, even that first step, I feel. A more advanced step for teenagers might be something like, I made myself feel because this happened. And that's going to be advanced. 16, 17, 18-year-olds and college students, we can use the phrase, I make myself feel. I made myself angry because you chose not to help me with the calculus, right? So that's taken full personal responsibility. That's a next level type of emotional management, emotional intelligence. But even before we go there, just we can practice with our kids saying, I feel, versus you made me angry, right? So healthy relating, prayer, right? Laughter, right? Having fun. Those kinds of things, all part of emotional health. But we definitely want to validate feelings. We want to be vulnerable rather than blame. We want to teach our children to self-soothe, right? Put feelings in the back seat, put thoughts in the front seat. We want to help teach that self-talk is a part of self-soothing, and that can help sort of, so they're not dominated by their feelings, but instead they're starting to maneuver through life with their thoughts. We want to really work away from accusations, criticisms, judgments, you always, you never, those overgeneralizations, but instead express vulnerability. You know, this is what I wanted, this is how I feel. And of course, slowing down. An emotionally healthy family slows down, takes time to be, rather than just to do. And then finally, staying in our lanes emotionally. These are my feelings. Your feelings are important, right? They're your feelings. So I wanted to present some things about emotional health in families. And it's just so important. So thanks for checking in. This is Dr. Daniel Van Ingen with the Dr. Van Ingen Clinical Psychology and Parenting Show on emotional health in families.